Officials in Fulton County, Georgia, today asked a judge to order the FBI to return thousands of ballots it seized from the election offices in January. An attorney arguing on behalf of Fulton County alleged the ballot seizure was done at the request of President Trump, which the Justice Department denies. CBS News election law contributor David Becker joins me now. He is also the executive director of the Center for Election Innovation and Research. So what are you hearing with respect to today's hearing?
Well, the hearing started at 9 a.m. today, and it's been going on all day. It just recently took a break where the main portion of the hearing, where Fulton County was arguing for return of their ballots, those people were excused, and now there's a second portion of the hearing where the NAACP has brought a separate action, and that's being heard by Judge Boulay in federal district court there. What I'm hearing from people who are in the courtroom and from reports that have come from the courtroom is that there was a lot of discussion around whether or not the Fulton County had met the standard of callous disregard for demonstrating that the government had acted with callous disregard in order to get their materials back. One of the challenges they had, they brought several witnesses who looked at the affidavit. I looked at the affidavit when it first came out. It was clearly deficient on its face. It didn't allege intent. It didn't even allege a specific crime. It didn't allege election theft. It didn't address the 5-year statute of limitations, all of which should have been in there. And it clearly had some key omissions. It used conspiracy theorist testimony that had been debunked before and didn't tell the court that these issues had been reviewed and debunked. Those raise a lot of questions about the warrant, and a lot of witnesses for Fulton County came in and pointed out how much was missing from this warrant and how it was clearly deficient. And the government said, but you can't know what was in the FBI agent's mind who had testified. But the government also opposed that FBI agent appearing and testifying, and the judge allowed them to oppose that and prevented that FBI agent, who was apparently sitting in the courtroom, to testify. So I think the government could have some difficulty there because on the one hand, they didn't want this individual to testify. On the other hand, he's the only person who can demonstrate and rebut the indications that there was callous disregard for the law and for the standard. Remember, a warrant is a really extreme seizure of evidence that the government is saying, we intend to use this in a prosecution. It's not to be used for a fishing expedition. It's not to be used for a PR stunt. And there were questions raised in the hearing today about whether or not it was being used for a legitimate prosecution. And even the government kind of said, we don't know if we're ever going to use this evidence.
And to that point, I mean, did we get a sense through this hearing of where these ballots actually are? It seems Fulton County, obviously, that's been something they want to know. And obviously, whether or not they're going to get these documents back eventually.
Yeah, not to my knowledge. I don't know that anyone knows where these are or what's being done with these ballots. The warrant was served about 2 months ago. So the government has had these for about 2 months. Remember, these ballots that they allegedly seized, they were counted and counted again and counted again 3 times, one of those times entirely by hand, observed by representatives of both campaigns. We know exactly what the outcome was in the election in 2020 in Fulton County and Georgia statewide and nationwide. So I think the government has a hard time demonstrating there's a potential crime here. I don't expect they're actually going to use this evidence ever. But the judge is holding Fulton County to a standard to try to get this information back. We'll see how this hearing plays out. I don't know if we'll get a decision tonight because it looks like it's going to go pretty late, but we might get one next week.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll have a chance to follow up with you then. Thank you so much, David.